supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be like in the old days a little bit. And that's why I love this ship.
It's a lot of money in the pocket that people would like to spend.
This ship, where we are now, is a history.
This is the story of an impossible cruise, the story of an unmentionable dream, to sail on the most luxurious boats in the world. Don't take a thing with you, because once on board, all you need is to snap your fingers. In the shoes of a billionaire, you will cruise through paradise islands, journey to the past, or hoist the sails on boats that are passing into legend. These gleaming hulls often conceal a mysterious world. Few are they who are allowed to penetrate into the bowels of these incomparable vessels. We had the exceptional opportunity of filming a few days aboard these monsters of the seas. Our voyage begins on the biggest sailing ship in the world, the Royal Clipper.
What I love is that it's not a floating hotel like some of the bigger cruise ships are, which, I mean, they're very nice too and they fulfill their purpose. But here people can come and actually go sailing. They can actually see the sails going up and they can feel the sailing, you know. And yeah, you might get seasick from time to time, but it's in a more classical way. It's not all modernized, and it's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be like in the old days a little bit. And that's why I love this ship.
Somewhere off the coast of Croatia.
I myself, as a captain of the Royal Clipper, have the honor and pleasure to confirm here and now that those two persons, both dedicated and ambitious sailors, are exchanging those rings as a sign of truth and of love. I hope that you will come on board of Royal Clipper every year on September 22nd to celebrate this wedding vows. To celebrate, yes.
Enough pleasantries, Captain Sergei. Sure, the champagne is flowing abundantly, but it's nearly 6 in the evening. The passengers on the biggest sailing ship in the world are waiting for the rigging. Gradually, sweet atmospheric music swells. The great adventure is about to begin.
Ready? Coming out. It's good wind, eh? You can sail at least. The music is, you know, a lot of people like this music. They are crazy for this music. And of course for the sails also.
A minimum of effort and 5,000 square meters of canvas are hoisted. In a few minutes, a journey back in time begins.
It's much more pleasant to be on a wooden boat like this than on one of those American floating cities, one of those huge ships. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yes? I get goosebumps.
Freedom. It's great. Calm.
It's a dream come true.
On the bridge of the Royal Clipper, this gigantic five-master, Captain Sergei has exchanged his ceremonial uniform for something more comfortable.
Best moment of the day when we're leaving as usual. Sails coming up with this music and sun is coming down, sunset. Yeah, it's something you see, you feel yourself when you're on open deck, very close with the Mother Nature. Yeah, really. It's something, yeah, very personal, yeah. I have universal license. I can be on any merchant ship, yeah, really. For me, it's not a problem, yeah. But you know, the point, of course, I like sailing. First of all, why I'm on board, I like sails. I like sailing, yeah. This one is the main idea. And of course, I feel myself also like not maybe what you say 100 years ago, like 500 years ago, like a Christopher Colon. I feel myself also sometimes like this, yeah. When you have sails up. What's changed? Nothing changed, yeah. It's only 500 years. What is it for Mother Nature? It's nothing, yeah. Attention all stations, all square sails.
We leave the Adriatic coast for clearer and warmer waters. We're expected aboard the Alysia, which has dropped anchor a few cables off Sri Lanka. Among the owners of the big yachts, you find those who were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, and the others. 50 years ago, this man was at the wheel of a combine harvester. Today, after having made a fortune in the bakery business in London, Andreas Liveras is at the head of a floating empire. He owns the most expensive yachts in the world, ships that hire for $1 million a week, excluding extras.
This is luxury. This is where the king or the prince or a film star or someone who can afford to pay, this is their dream to be in this boat. Their dream to be even for 1 hour, for 1 day, for 1 month. We have people chartering that long. She is a beautiful, and there is no comparison in the world.
Once aboard the Alysia, it's almost like a ritual. Andreas Liveras loves to remind his guests that before he built one of the most expensive yachts in the world, he was a simple Greek Cypriot farmer.
We don't have blood inside, we have seawater. All the Greeks love the sea, and we love the sea and the boats, and this goes through the families. And our best place, of course, our favorite place is the boat. We have a lot of houses and a lot of factories and so on, but the boat is our pride.
Andreas has come to spend a few days on his yacht. He's accompanied by his granddaughter from London, Natasha, who is discovering the Maldive archipelago for the first time. Natasha is also the name of Andreas's first boat. That was at the beginning of the 80s.
Beaches are bright and pure and the sea's absolutely stunning. But I found that the only way to travel around between all the islands is by yacht. So that's what makes it such a unique experience for me, travelling around on the yacht. So the beautiful islands. Can't think of anything better, can you?
That's if you can afford to.
That's true. Yeah, the people that come down here are yeah, very wealthy.
Yeah. They don't all have a grandfather, do they?
No, not one like you. They're very lucky.
Usually the grand yachts would spend the winter in the Caribbean, but now, and Mr. Liveras has decided so, the Indian Ocean and the Maldives are the fashionable destination.
Okay, keep surveying anchor, keep surveying anchor.
On the enormous bridge of the Alysia is a faithful retainer of the Liveres clan, Captain Nikos. He's not the least reluctant to compare his system of navigation with that of the Queen Mary.
I crossed all the Atlantic Ocean with gale, not a gale, all these days, 2 weeks, but 3 days we had a very hard gale. With stabilizers, not any problem. The sea comes overboard, but she was going straight without any deviation, very nice.
So it's not a floating hotel, it's also good
good for navigation. It's very good for navigation. I'm never afraid to cross all the oceans with that vessel.
Bubbles, more bubbles, always bubbles. This is a real luxury for Andreas Liveres, who thinks the cruise is getting off to a good start. After 4 days aboard this mega yacht, it's high time for us to go and see what's happening over in Turkey. In the Bay of Göcek, a strange-looking barge is moored right against the cliff. This is where Mr. Karaman spends his weekends. He moves his floating house according to his whims, and especially to those of his wife.
Every bay has his own charm here. We love Göcek, we love this area. My wife sometimes she paints, and she likes that I move the house every week another bay because she's painting the other bays, you know. Now she has a good collection of the paints and the bays. But it's so relaxed place, so relaxed, it's so beautiful.
A wealthy ship owner, Mr. Karaman is at the head of the biggest shipyard in Istanbul. He adores everything that floats. His house is surrounded with toys of every sort, and one of them is a big one. Moored a few hundred yards away, the Savarona is a former steamship. 136 meters long, built in 1931 in Hamburg for a rich American. As always, Mr. Karaman is in a hurry. When he's not on his luxury barge with his wife, he loves to spend a few hours aboard his big white boat. He sees this vessel, the Savarona, rather as a vast floating living room, a beautiful reception room, which he charters from time to time to wealthy clients. Aboard Savarona, the staff are already on the alert. Mehdi, the head steward, is looking out for the boss's arrival.
Savarona means the one kind of swan in Africa, and if you see the way she's designed, and when she sails is beautiful, beautiful when you go around Greek island or coast of Italy, south of France, beautiful to sail with, and very, very nice ship to sail.
For a moment, we leave Mr. Karaman to meet up with the passengers on the Royal Clipper, which is sailing south. On board this upper-class cruise are Germans, Belgians, a few French, and a fair number of Americans, including this bubbly Texan, Cynthia.
We wait until the sails come down and the sea gets quiet and everything is smooth. Right? It's very relaxing. You get to see beautiful scenery. Look at the sun. The sun's gone.
Behind this new concept of cruising is a Swedish ship owner, Michael Kraft. He built this enormous sailing ship from the plans for a German clipper built in 1902, the Preußen.
Maybe you come along, huh?
A resident of Monaco, Michael Kraft has always been fascinated by the lives of those long-haul sailors. Those fearless crews who in the 19th century rounded Cape Horn or the Cape of Good Hope, come hell or high water.
Depuis que j'étais très petit, j'avais toujours très grand intérêt pour les gros navires en voile. Mon oncle, il était le dernier commandant suédois pour un navire, un 4-mâts commercial qui s'appelait Albatros. Et j'ai toujours eu ce grand intérêt pour des voiliers comme ça. Et évidemment, ça m'a pris énormément de le reconstruire d'une façon nostalgique.
Nostalgia without the spray is what the passengers on the Royal Clipper are looking for. Because today, there's no pitching and tossing on the ship. While the deck hands are busy at work, the officers enjoy a little time with the tourists. Tonight, as every night, there's no let-up for Ramos, the Filipino barman, who seems pleased with the evening. And next morning on the menu is just what's required to work off the excesses of the night before. Aboard the Royal Clipper, an army of waiters, cooks and wine waiters is ready to pander to your every desire.
Captain Jarvis. Hello.
Along with Dick, there are some 100 crew members. From the chambermaid to the engineer, by way of the masseurs and sports coaches, you can count one crew member for every 2 passengers.
I came from the Philippines and I worked already almost 2 months, and I've been here for at least for 10 months. I work in this company for 5 years already. I wake up 6:30 in the morning, up 5:30, and then I start work at 7 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's my break. I came back at 7 until 10 o'clock in the day. That's my life here on board.
Do you like your life on board, or is it like a very important thing for your family in Philippines, and how do you live this?
Yes, of course, because this is my work. This is how to support my family. So I love to work here. I have already one daughter, so I have to sacrifice myself.
During the day, Ramos, the Filipino barman, works in the restaurant as wine waiter. Like most of the crew, he learned his trade on this ship, and he's doing rather well.
The most important in the wines, that's in the food. Together with the food, we have to ask the passenger that what kind of wine, if they like a light, or what kind of red wines that they like. If this is deep red or medium light, you have to go with the food actually. That is the most important, is the passenger satisfaction.
Meanwhile, at the stern of the ship, Ivan, the sports coach, and Josephine get ready for a rather special job. They're going to make use of the calm waters of the Kotor Fjord to inspect the ship's hull.
It's a big baby with a big fat belly. On any ship, you've got barnacles growing all the time, all sort of shells. That's a constant thing. And even if we are cleaning the portholes every time, by 2 or 3 weeks later, it's going to grow again. This is a major job meant to be done when the ship is on the dry dock, so they get all the hull nice and shiny, and they put some new paint. But until then, if there's something major to do, well, it needs to be done on places like here. And we need flat conditions, because these portholes are between 1 and 3 meters deep. And if you've got a rough surface, okay, then it's what you were saying about this torture of getting somebody scratching against all the barnacles. And it's not pretty, man, I tell you. When you do these sort of jobs, guys, and that's the same with commercial divers, even if the water is quite clear, use a hood, because you've got a lot of shrimps. As soon as you start cleaning, they get in your ears. They're really, really small, and you don't want those shrimps in your ears. But if you look after your ears.
Meanwhile, in the Maldives, Mr. Liveris' holiday continues.
But Michael asked us to come and spend Christmas down here. Oh, that's lovely.
The story of his ship Alysia begins 6 years ago in a noisy Greek shipyard. That's when Andreas Liveris commissions the building of 2 identical mini-liners. Annelies and Alysia, named after his granddaughters, are 85 meters long and fitted with the very latest maritime safety equipment, which probably explains their somewhat severe design. These mega yachts are intended solely for charter.
There's a lot of rich people out there, a lot of Americans who, at this moment, they are hesitating coming. But we have the Russians, we have the Arabs, and we have a lot of money in the pocket that people would like to spend. The bigger the boats, the more expensive, the more quality, the busier they are. I'm waiting to finish so I can go to the first journey.
Now Annelies has been sold, and Alysia sails wherever the owner for a day desires. Alysia is the most expensive yacht in the world. You will need more than 100,000 euros a day if you wish to enjoy this luxurious jewel box with the somewhat kitsch decors. That's 100,000 euros without counting a full tank, food, and tips for the staff.
In this boat we have 18 rooms, and of course the master room, it's the owner's stateroom, and the charterer's stateroom. If we have a charter, one of them pays the money, he has to have the best. And this is, we made it spacious, and we made it in the right place for view, so that we can see the lights, and we can see when we're going forward. This is the best view of the boat here.
Sorry, but we don't really have time to enjoy the view, and this decor intended to delight the rich of the planet. We have a date in the bowels of the ship for a surprise.
This is the envy of every yacht owner. Everybody now who built a new boat wants to copy us. They want to have this beautiful spa, they want to have the Cleopatra bath, which you will see in a minute. They want to have the aromatic bath, they want to have the massage room, the facial room, the nails, the pedicure, manicure, absolutely everything. This is where nobody has this place. No other boat has got a spa like this. And everybody is trying to copy it now.
It's a tough life being a billionaire. It's time for the beach, at last. It's not that he feels cramped aboard Alysia, but from time to time Andreas does like to set foot on dry land.
My boat is like my woman. I like from top to bottom. This is my lady. This is the most beautiful lady in the world, inside and outside.
When your purse is as deep as Mr. Liveris's, it goes without saying that all doors are open, especially those of the major luxury hotels in the Maldives.
They now start going up all of them.
His clients are eagerly awaited in this undersea restaurant.
And when I call it the living paradise, I mean the living paradise. Where do you see this? I never saw it before. It's unbelievable.
But for that,
for Solaya and
for that, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's one of the of the things you can talk about to our clients, and they come here and they never forget. They come back again, and that's the game. You know, the name of the game. Yeah. We have to make them come back again. And when they see things like that, they talk to their friends, they talk to their families, they miss the place, they come back. Please. So welcome again.
We're back in Turkey on the Savarona. The exterior appearance of this giant yacht looks really classical, but inside it's a cocoon of comfort. Mr. Karaman wanted a decor that was a blend of antiquity in the Ottoman tradition, of old carpets, historical furniture, and sculpture from the 30s. Not forgetting, naturally, that little touch of luxury.
Because when I took this boat about 16 years ago from the Turkish government, it was in a very bad shape. It was like a scrap, and the Turkish government sold the yacht to Turkish Navy scrap yard for $6,000. And that time I called the president of the Turkey, and I told him it's shame we are scrapping the Ataturk vessel. And he didn't know. He called the Navy, the top general, and council to go to the scrap, and then he turned to the ship to me, and I rebuilt the boat completely in my shipyard. It took about 2.5 years.
Hidden away in the center of the ship is a little museum dedicated to the memory of President Ataturk. Like many of his compatriots, Mr. Karaman makes a cult of the founder of modern Turkey, even to the point of looking like him.
This is one of his last pictures, which he feels better and which he can have a conversation with his other generals on the Savarona. And 4 days later, they moved straight to this bed. And when they was taking his blood, you can also see the blood is in the cover of his bed. And he was also sleeps here about 10 days. And that time the Savarona, it was a steam turbine engine. There was a little vibration on the boat. What they did, they bring one of the Turkish submarine on the starboard side, with the battery system. They give only this room electric, and they shut the generators down, and they keep only the power in this room. What he says to doctor, I never had any toy in my life. This is the only one toy I had in my life. Please keep me until the last moment on the boat.
Once the door to Ataturk's bedroom is locked, we're allowed a little tour of the boat that is the pride of a whole nation. We pass through a dining room for diplomatic dinners. We walk through a maze of corridors and bedrooms. We discover a jewel of a bathroom.
This is Savarona ship's main bedroom.
And then in the former hold of the ship, we make an unexpected discovery. We come out of an elevator into stifling heat. It's the Savarona's Turkish bath. A huge room decorated with 30 tons of marble, something never previously seen on a yacht of this type.
Kahraman knows that this is very important for every Turkish person, and you can find 65 tons marble in this place, only in this place, in this ship. And when you come to Turkey, you can find Turkish baths all around Turkey. But this is a special place for this ship because this is the only swimming Turkish bath in the world.
3 stories above on the Savarona's deck, a small band of waiters is at work preparing for the big party. It's now 6 years since Metin has been in the owner's service. 6 years of good and faithful service to the Turkish nation in a way.
Ataturk, the mentality, the way is Ataturk live forever from our wife, because we own a lot of things from the Ataturk to the way we live right now, Western style lifestyle. We own for him. That's why we not make them forget for children. We teach the children about what Ataturk way to things, what you change. If they know this one, and they never forget, because any nation who forget his past and history will be nothing in the future.
While they get ready for Mr. Karaman's party, we can rejoin the passengers on the Royal Clipper. The adventure of the Royal Clipper is a dream cruise of 12 days with 12 ports of call. After Venice and the Croatian archipelago, Paul and Cynthia, our Texans aboard the Royal, set out to conquer the ancient city of Dubrovnik.
It's very impressive from here. This will make a beautiful picture. We are the Onassis of our generation today, right? Yes, absolutely. Well, you know, you feel like you're the wealth. You feel like you are special. You're unique because you're taking a trip on such a beautiful ship.
What was most amazing to us when we left Croatia last night, all the sails were up, the lights were on the sails, and the entire shoreline was taking photographs, and you could see the flashes going off like you were at some type of movie premiere. And they were taking camera shots from all the way on top of the mountain where the castles were. And it was an amazing sight to see how many people were taking pictures from ashore. So we were impressed by that, very much so.
We felt like celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Tom and Katie Cruz, that's what we felt like, right?
I just don't look like Tom Cruise.
For the first time in several months, Ramos and his colleagues can set foot on shore.
I've been here in Dubrovnik, but I've never been out because my time of off is 2 hours, so I better go sleep and take my energy But this time I go out because I feel I like it, because it's nice, and I've heard a lot of the passengers and crew alike that it's very nice and very simple but expensive. The best in my job is when I talk to the passengers who is really funny and lively. The worst in my job and when you see some people is drunk and not actually treat you like a human, like you're a slave, like that. But not, this is a very rare chance. It's only like very rare, very minimal. It's always like, because the ship is very small and we are like family in the ship.
At around €3,000 per cruise, passengers on the Royal Clipper get the impression of a voyage filled with sensations. While the ferries shuttle back and forth, we take a sneak look behind the doors normally closed to the passengers, in the company of Josephine, to take a cruise eye look at things.
Can you explain us where we are now?
Now we're in my cabin, which I share with the head of spa and the nurse. It's not huge, but we have different schedules, so it's okay. Most of the time, we don't have to fight about the surface or about the shower or anything like that. Well, of course, because you're on this ship all the time, right? And as soon as you're in a passenger area, you have to, or you want to, you behave and you talk to new people all the time, and you have to just obey some of the rules, right? But when you're in the crew mess, you're in the cabin, that's when we're off. Like, that's our free time. That's for you when you go home and you're with your family. We go home and we go home to this, or we go home and we go to crew mess. So when somebody else comes in who's not supposed to be there, it's very like, okay, what's going on now? You know, should we go get our uniforms or anything like that?
There's no more time to chat.
All square sails out, all square sails out, except the main course and cross.
Captain Sergei calls to orders. It's nearly 6 o'clock. And like every evening, that same music can be heard. Just before they hoist the sails, Cynthia enjoys one last thrill, 70 feet above the waves.
Very nice. Excellent. It was beautiful. Perfect. Quite impressive. You can see for miles. Commercial that says something like, if only my friends could see me now. Is that a car commercial?
The Royal Clipper and crew have set course for Sicily, where they say a hard blow is forecast. But no need to worry. Word among the passengers is that a descendant of Christopher Columbus is at the helm. We leave our adventurers on the Royal Clipper to rejoin Mr. Karaman and his wife a little further away. They're leaving their floating barge to go aboard the Savarona. This evening, Sir and Madam are hosts aboard their huge ship. Their friends are, for the most part, owners of the big yachts at anchor in the Bay of Göcek. It's 8 o'clock, and Metin, the butler, is getting ready in his tiny cabin. A few minutes later, we'll find him on the rear deck.
Best place always best things, like best champagne in the world.
Madame runs her eye rapidly around to hunt down that tiny detail that might harm the excellent reputation of the Savarona.
What I like is when with this yacht we enter the harbors, marinas, especially in Europe. I like to see the admiration in the eyes of the people looking at Savarona, because this is such a unique yacht. Everybody appreciates it.
Every year we are going to another city, another part of the Turkey, and the people just making a queue 2 kilometers to come and touch the Ataturk furniture and get the smell, the same atmosphere. I mean, this boat has some life. I built one of the biggest yachts in the world called Platinum. Now the name is changed to Dubai. But when I was in the boat means to me like a small passenger vessel. It didn't have any feeling. I am the owner of this boat since 15 years, and I never even touch and sleep in the Ataturk room.
But who can think of sleep tonight? The hi-fi is pounding out enough decibels to keep the whole bay awake. The music, very Western, would doubtless surprise the Honourable Ataturk if he were still in this world. The next morning, only the crew is left aboard. The Savarona's owners have flown back to Istanbul, where in a few weeks the ship will take up its winter quarters. On the upper deck, Metin enjoys a moment of free time to catch up with news of his daughter.
I have a lot of stories to tell her because she's 6 months of my daughter. When I get older and when she get bigger, and I will explain where I work and where I've been. Because of my job, I've been 110 countries around the world. That will be my last career to working at sea will be Savarona. After the Savarona, I will not work anymore at sea. I want to finish one of the historic and top and biggest non-royal yacht in the world with Savarona. I have to tell a lot of story here about because this ship where we are now is a history.
It's goodbye to Turkey and the wonderful stories of the Savarona. We're off to the paradise archipelago of the Maldives. Contrary to appearances, Mr. Liveras is never really on holiday. Wherever he drops anchor, he never forgets business. In the end, Alysia is just a second office for him. This ship owner's real holiday will only have lasted a few hours. It's now time for him to immerse himself once more in his innumerable charter contracts, whose rates seem obscene to most mortals.
499,440, correct? 94,500 a day.
It's the time when the whole crew is on its toes.
Out of the total. Building a boat is like a plant. For me, I like to see a plant growing. and then you see the flower. Building a boat is the same. You start from the steel, you look at the steel and say, this is going to be a boat? Well, it comes, slowly it comes. But at the end, the decoration, the little things that they have to go inside of the boat, the thinking of what the customer would like and what they wouldn't like. For example, we have Muslim clients and we have Christian clients, and we have to think and arrange for everybody's.
We're nearing the end of this business cruise aboard Alysia. Andreas Liveras is host one last time to the clients from the luxury houses in the area. Within a few months, he plans to build 2 more ships, twice as big as Alysia. His next yacht will be called Natasha, after his granddaughter, which surely calls for one more for the road. The desire to cast off, to feel that the world belongs to you. In the end, the owners of these dream vessels are like us, give or take a few $1 million. Our cruise in the world of the grand yachts is over. It's a world where one's fortune and one's happiness is often judged by the size of one's yacht. This film is dedicated to the memory of Andreas Liveras.